This time on Cheap Ass Movie Reviews, we talk Clint Eastwood, as in the Iger sanction. I'm Eric Stafford. Welcome into Cheap Ass Movie Reviews. We're talking about a collection I picked up recently at my local Big Lots, and that is the Clint Eastwood Thriller Collection, which recently came out from Universal Home Video. And you can see 4 different Clint Eastwood films. We have, of course, Coogan's Bluff, which you may or may not remember. We'll talk about that in a moment. Then we also have The Beguiled, Play Misty for Me, which was Clint Eastwood's directorial debut, and then also the Iger sanction. Now, the Iger sanction was one of my favorites, and it's why I picked up the set. The Beguiled, not so much, but now that I've seen the R cut of it, I feel a little better. I'd kind of seen it on TV my whole life, and now that I've seen the R cut of the film. But this whole set was only $5.95, 4 great movies. Now, Universal is not known for their best releases and doing the best things with their disc, but I will say this: when I put in that first film, Coogan's Bluff, it had no extras whatsoever. So every ounce of that disc was used to make that movie. So it was a high-res file. It was straight into that. There was no extras, none, nada, nothing, not even the trailer, not a menu. It really kind of shocked me. So it was kind of like almost like a Warner Archive release or something like that. But anyway, it's got the 4 great films in it. Like I said, I had not seen Coogan's Bluff, and Coogan's Bluff was written and directed by the same guys that did Dirty Harry a couple of years later, about 3 years later actually, and with Clint Eastwood. And it's all the same tropes. It's just that instead of being Dirty Harry, he is Coogan, and Coogan bluffs getting a prisoner. He's from Arizona and comes to get a prisoner from New York State, and he bluffs his way into getting the prisoner and getting him out, but the prisoner escapes, and then he spends the rest of the film trying to catch him. It's just like any other, like Miami Vice or any of that stuff, you know, Crockett, you're off the case. They get mad and they fuss at the guy, but he ends up, you know, he's Coogan. He's going to get him. And it is also what a lot of things were based off of. There was a kind of a lot of Western cowboys coming to the city kind of things in the 70s, and all of them were based on this, and actually the writers wrote some of those as well, like McLeod and all that was all based off of Coogan's Bluff. So it's great to see that film, and it is a hard R. I think it's actually a rougher movie. When I watched it, then I was very surprised because it's a lot rougher than Dirty Harry, I thought. Which Dirty Harry you've seen so many times, you kind of, because it's so popular, that you're kind of numb to it a little bit. But there was a lot more nudity, a lot more rough stuff in the city. This time they're in New York City, and so that was a great find and a great film. I enjoyed that. Then, of course, the next film, they did another film together, which was The Beguiled, which is pretty good. It's kind of known for Melody Thomas, that's Melody Thomas Scott, that's Nikki on The Young and the Restless. It's her first movie, and she's a young girl, but that's in the film. But what happens is Clint Eastwood is a Civil War soldier. I was going to say veteran, but he's a soldier. The wars are going on, and he ends up getting wounded, found by one of the girls at a girls' school in the South. They take him in, and he kind of plays all the girls against each other, like wooing them all, even though they're all different ages. And things don't, you know, it makes for a tense situation for everybody. But it's never been one of my favorite films. But after seeing the uncut R version of it, I was really kind of happy. It's kind of the Misery of its time. If you know Misery, I'm sure Stephen King watched this before he wrote Misery. But on top of that, then you also have Play Misty for Me, which is a classic. Like I said, his directorial debut. Everybody knows the film that follows his career, that followed Clint Eastwood. And so it's a great film. But one of my personal favorites out of it is the Iger sanction, which is Clint Eastwood and George Kennedy scaling the mountain. It's just, I've always enjoyed that film and thought it was a great film. But anyway, these 4 films were only, like I said, like $5.95 for the 4 films at Big Lots. Picked them up on a Universal disc. It is a bare bones release, but got them on Blu-ray. Got that, look at that picture, look at that grain. You can see that grain real good in Blu-ray. But I really did enjoy the films. It's a nice little pickup. It might be out there for you to find in your local Big Lots or somewhere around, because Universal does try to get rid of these things sometimes. It seems like physical media, people talk about physical media being on the outs, you know, but vinyls come back in. Blu-ray has never caught on as well as DVD did. So Blu-ray is kind of a subgenre, and then on top of that is the steelbook subgenre. Then on top of that is the 4K subgenre, because people haven't upgraded everything yet. Luckily I did this year. I got to upgrade to a 4K player and 4K TV, so I've been enjoying that, and it is night and day. It is night and day. When I was watching the film earlier, I saw where you could actually see moisture in somebody's eyes. Their face was dry, but they were tearing up. And then when you watch the Blu-ray, you couldn't tell they were tearing up. But in that movie, in the 4K, you could see that they were tearing up. So it's definitely an upgrade, whether people want to believe it or not. Now, if you're older and your eyes are already getting a little, you got a little presbyopia going already, you're not going to notice a big difference between Blu-ray and 4K. Now, you will notice a big difference between DVD and Blu-ray, and how much there's a big jump there. But most people, average eyesight, DVD's pretty much good enough. And that's what a lot of people are watching when they're streaming video, is they don't realize that it's at a lower resolution. It may say it's a higher resolution, but the 4K and stuff that they advertise is not quite pulling 4K for it to be able to go over the internet. So a lot of times when you get the digital copy of a film, it will be a DVD quality version of it. But when you shrink it down to your phone and you've got it on your little phone, it doesn't matter, because it pulled all those pixels together and the picture looks really sharp. So it's only when you blow it up like this that you can see grain and things like that, and see it kind of dissipate. But that's a lesson for another time, I guess. But that's what happens with movies and movie collecting. There's George Kennedy right there. And actually, talking about Young and the Restless, he's Victor Newman's dad. So George Kennedy was Victor Newman's dad. Nicky Newman's in The Beguiled. So we've kind of got a little ties to Young and the Restless there, but I guess everybody does, because that show's been on so long. But it's something I've always enjoyed my entire life, so I like to talk about that. But anyway, it's a great little set, this Clint Eastwood set. It is just amazing to look at some of these films and see some rough stuff. Especially Coogan's Bluff was pretty rough. I was really shocked at how rough that film was. And The Beguiled too, because I had seen it edited a lot of years over TV, and it makes a difference in seeing the original cut and then seeing what they've been showing you on TV for years. So that's the reason that you pick up media. That's the reason you pick up media. You keep it, you got it, and you know, nobody can take it away from you. You can watch it when you want to watch it, and that's the way that works. I have bought films before online and then them take them away, and that's not a fun thing. And that's kind of what's got me more into being a little more of a videophile as far as keeping a physical copy now, because they can just yank those films anytime they want to off of Netflix or whatever subscriber you're using. So keep that in mind. But if you like this video, if you want to know more about films, all you got to do is like and subscribe. If you want to talk to me, you can click the Instagram, talk to me there. You can click the logo for Facebook, talk to me there. Or any of those is a great way to talk to me. If there's something you want me to review, something you want me to look at, I would love to do that. So I love talking movies, as you can tell, and I'm just, you know, expanding my collection. I'd kind of gotten rid of my collection at one point and had kind of thinned it down to like the bare bones, the barest of the bare bones. And then I got burnt by those online folks, and I decided I need to keep my stuff. So it's also a good excuse to upgrade and get some good Blu-rays out of it. I'm Eric Stafford. I hope you're having a great day, and thanks for watching Cheap Ass Movie Review.